Hey guys, I hope everybody is safe and well at home. This morning I've decided to take you guys through a little tutorial on how to achieve that in salon blow dry in the comfort of your own home. So I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and they just don't know what products to use and like how to even do a blow dry with a brush, to be honest. So I know a lot of people just do like a blast dry, which is fine, but you will get a better result if you actually use brushes. So I've just washed my hair and it's all wet. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, so this is a Tangle, it's called the Tangle Tamer Ultra, and it's a Denman brush. So it's like a really soft brush. This is like a must have in your house, honestly. Like, it is an absolute game changer. I actually keep one in the bathroom and then one out of the bathroom, so when I'm actually styling my hair. The reason I love it so much is because it's soft, right? So it doesn't actually pull the hair and stretch it and damage it when you're actually brushing it. So you could have the knottiest hair in the world and it will get through it pain-free and damage-free. So yeah, this is one of my most favorite brushes in the world. The other brush you need is a round brush. So this is a GHD round brush. It's pretty old, this one. I've had it for years, but these are my favorite brushes as well, and the reason is because they have a really good grip on them. So when you're blow drying, it will stretch the hair out, so then that means it's going to be straighter before you even have to straighten it or curl it. So yeah, I just think these are the best. So this one's a number 2 GHD brush. The other tool is a large wide tooth comb, which is great for brushing out curls, but I'm just going to show you guys how to blow dry today, so we won't be using that one. So I just wanted to start with some of the products that I use in the shower. There's actually quite a few. So when you I actually put them all together and was like, oh my god, I actually use so many products on a daily basis. It's actually crazy. So the first one I've been using is the Olaplex shampoo. So because I've got blonde hair, this one is amazing. So it's going to keep my blonde strong, and it is like the foamiest shampoo that I've ever used ever. So it lasts forever. So when you shampoo your hair, you always do 2 shampoos first. And if you're doing an Olaplex treatment, which I also do once every 3 washes, you have to put that one in your hair before you shampoo it. So it's like a pre-treatment before you jump in the shower. You just wet your hair down, run that through about a 50-cent piece through your mid-lengths and ends, and leave it in for at least 10 minutes. Like, go and do some housework or eat breakfast or whatever. So, and then you shampoo it out with this, and then you follow with your normal conditioner, either the Olaplex conditioner. I actually prefer to use a mask treatment, so I actually never use conditioner, and I haven't for years. And the reason being is because I'm blonde, so I always feel like we need that little bit of extra like hydration or strength than, say, somebody who's just got a little bit of color in their hair. So whenever I use the Olaplex, I actually personally don't like the conditioner. I don't feel like it gives my hair enough moisture, really. It's not really detangling enough for me either. So I love every other one of their products except for the conditioner. So I always use the Olaplex shampoo, and then I will alternate this is going to get a bit confusing, but I'll alternate my 2 different treatments. So one is a strengthening treatment, so that one's got more protein in it. So this one is the System Professional Repair Mask, and this one is amazing. So it's really strengthening, great for blonde hair. And then this one here is the System Professional Color Save Mask. Now I know I've got blonde hair and you're like, why using a color conditioner? The treatment, the reason is because it's just super hydrating. So I alternate with those 2 whenever I wash my hair, because Olaplex is a completely different type of protein to what, say, this is. So when you're using Olaplex number 3 treatment, it doesn't mean, oh great, like I just use number 3 treatment, I don't need to use anything else. No, that one is a bond builder. So it actually strengthens the bonds in your hair. So it stops it from breaking and splitting. Whereas these ones here, the moisture, the one with more moisture will make it soft and supple, and the repair strengthening one will also just add extra strength. So there's a lot of information and it can kind of get a little bit overwhelming, but once you get your head around it, you're fine. So those are my main ones. And now to just add in another treatment into the mix, because I'm blonde, I need to use a blonde toning treatment at home. So you can either use a blonde shampoo, or this is one of my favorites. So it's the Evo Fabuloso Blonde Conditioner, well, color boosting treatment it's called. So this one here is really amazing for blonde hair because I feel like it doesn't go too dark or dull. So I find a lot of blonde shampoos are too strong and they're also really drying. So because I'm quite light naturally, definitely not natural, because I'm quite light, if I go and use like a really strong blonde shampoo on my hair that's like a blue based one, blue counteracts orange, right? So I don't have orange hair, I've got pretty blonde hair. So if you put that on my hair, it's gonna go really blue and like dull and dark, and then your blonde ends up going really flat, and sometimes it can actually go quite murky. So if you have any gold in your hair, like any brassy bits, and then you've got really clean bits, if you put too much blonde shampoo in your hair when it's got orange bits and clean blonde, what it does, it tones all the really clean blonde parts down, and then the orange parts are still there. So then your hair ends up looking like orange but like murky. It's just not really a good look. So sometimes when you've got brassy bits in your hair, it's actually better to keep your blonde more creamy rather than ash, because this here will only tone your blonde bits like this. Like it's not going to tone any other darker bits because it's not designed to color anything darker than a level 10, which is this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is black and 10 is blonde. So toner's really only good for your blonde, and I'm definitely not a fan of overusing toners, so something to keep in mind. So back to this, the reason I absolutely love this product is because it is it's a violet base, so it doesn't actually go too dark and dull unless you use it every single time and leave it in for like 10 minutes every time, then it will. But generally I will wash my hair with this. So I'll shampoo twice, towel dry, and then pop this in and leave it in for about 5 minutes, and I'll do that once every 3 washes. So basically when you end up adding in all of the other things that you're alternating it with, so you end up using something new every single time, which is great. So Jeremy's always getting cranky at me because he's always like, why do you have to have so many conditioners and so many treatments in the shower? And I'm like, there's one for every day of the week, okay? Like there's one for every reason, and there actually is a reason for every single one. So tell your boyfriends to... okay, so that is it for my washing products. So after that, when I get out of the shower, I always use my handy brush and brush through your hair again when it's wet. So mind you can use this in the shower as well to comb your treatment through your Evo as well, to make sure that your toner's getting saturated nice and evenly. But yeah, when you get out of the shower, make sure that you brush it all really nice. I actually haven't really brushed it because I was thinking I would just wait and do it and show you how I actually do it. So put that in. So some of the leave-in products that I use is Olaplex number 6. So this one is a leave-in treatment, and you put it in your hair every time you wash it into damp hair. Now this is the most concentrated product ever. It literally goes a very long way. So this is all I'm using. It's not even like the size of a 5-cent piece. So if you put too much in, it will actually make your hair go oily. So don't put too much in. And just use your fingertips to like run it through all of the ends. You don't need to go on the roots with this one. run that through. It instantly makes it feel a bit softer and detangled, and you can brush that one through as well. And then another one that I'm going to use is Olaplex number 7, or I also use the System Professional Luxe Oil. So either one of these is great. Sometimes I'll just use both. So Olaplex number 7, the bonding oil, it's strengthening, it adds heat protection. Actually, sorry, I should just say both of these do the same thing. Heat protection, it adds shine. You can put it in your hair when it's wet and when it's dry. And it just helps to, smooth frizz, and it just keeps the hair nice and supple and moisturized. So, let's go the Olaplex number 7 into wet hair, and then I'll finish with the Luxe oil. And I finish with the Luxe oil because I actually find that it's a lot softer than the Olaplex number 7. Number 7's good, but to be honest, it's not, I don't know, it's not that luxe. Luxe oil is. So that's my favorite. Okay, run that through. Sometimes I'll also use a heat protection spray, but I'll just minimize it at that today. Now, so if you want body, you also need to use something that's going to help give your hair a little bit of body. So I've got 2 products here that I tend to use. So I've got one called Root Shoot. It's by Wella. So this one is designed to spray in at the root area, and it adds a bit of volume here. If you want some body and fullness through the mid-lengths and ends, you can use a blow dry gel through the ends. So this one is the System Professional Blue Shaper Hydro Gel. So that one is also really good. So I'll just spray this in at the root. So it's got like a little jet shoot thing. So you got to be careful because otherwise you'll end up getting it all over the walls. So it shoots pretty fast, so just be careful. So like that. Whoop. I'm looking through the phone screen, so oh shit. Okay, I'm just gonna look in the mirror before I get it all in my eyebrows. Oh. So you just use like your finger to separate the hair and make a line like that. And then you just spray a quick little root shoot in there. And then you just, and then I also like to spray some in the crown as well, because if you're like me, I've got a double crown, so it always splits through there. It's really annoying. So if you spray some in there and blow dry it back, it will actually help it to sit nicely for you. So run that through. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of the blow dry hydro gel, the Blue Shaper, through the mid-lengths and ends. Just a tiny bit. Like, I actually hate the feeling of product in my hair. So all of these things will actually leave your hair feeling nice and soft and supple. Like, nothing will make your hair feel tacky or sticky. Oh, I should have showed you, but that was just the tiniest little bit. So just gently like run all of that through your mid-lengths and ends. So I know this sounds like a lot of products, but I honestly use everything. Like, every single time I wash my hair, these are the steps that I go through. I actually potentially also use more than this, but I'm just trying to keep it a little bit like, you know, condensed so I don't confuse you. The other thing that I sometimes will use instead of Olaplex number 6 is like a spray leave-in moisturizer or detangler. Like, I love those. I just find them really easy to spray through and apply to the hair and make it feel nice and soft, but it's either one of those. I'm just trying to use Olaplex a bit more because I've gone a little bit lighter last time, so I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough strengthening products in my hair to keep it nice and strong and healthy. Okay, so that is it for the moment. So basically now I will blow dry my hair. There's nothing really glamorous about the way I blow dry my hair at home. And to be honest, I literally stand up, I tip my head upside down, and I blast dry up this way as much until basically all the roots are dry. And then I will like tip my head back upside down, and then I will start blast drying down like this. So the direction you blast dry your hair in is the direction it's going to sit. So if you want, say you have a fringe, you need to probably blast dry that down first, like this, for it to sit nice and perfect. If not, tip your head upside down. That's if you want body. So the only time I'll say be careful of tipping your head upside down is if you hate body and you have a million flyaways, because if you have a million flyaways and you tip your head upside down, it's going to show all of them and then you're going to look like everywhere. So I'll get some, but I just spray them down. It's not really too much of an issue. So basically you start off and you blast dry your hair till about 80% dry, and then you actually will start using the brush. So if you start using the brush too soon and your hair's too wet, you will literally be there forever and you'll be over it in no time. Your arms will get sore and you won't do a good job. So you're wasting your time if you do it any sooner. So basically blast dry it till it's nearly dry, and then I'll show you how to use the brush. So this is how I blow dry my hair. Oh, I just need to plug it in. That might help. Oh, the hairdryer I'm using is a Parlux. It's the light one, and the reason I love this one is because it's light and it's not as heavy if you're holding your arms up above your head the whole time. So the GHD ones I know are extremely heavy. So when you need a new one, if you've got that, try the Parlux light. They're the best. So this is what I do. Okay, so my hair is, to be honest, it's probably about 90% dry. So it's just got that little bit of moisture in there, which will help you to reshape the look of your hair. So for this part, I need a clip. I actually forgot to get a clip. Just wait. Well, anyways, I'm just gonna use a hair tie. Scrunchie. How does that sound? So basically, I like to section my hair into 3 sections. So there's the section from the bottom of the ear to the nape. That's your first section. The second section is from your ear to your temple. And then the third section is the top section. It is important to section it like this, like if you want a better blow dry, because you do need to be able to get into the, like closer to the root of each section, and you can't do that if you only do it in 2 sections. So first section, just the nape area, and you also need to make sure that your hair when you're blow drying it, say like we're prepping it for some curls or something, you need to make sure, or even just a straight blow dry, if you don't blow dry your hair 100% dry and it's got that little bit of moisture in it, it's literally going to go straight back to how it was. So you're actually like setting the hair in a new shape by blow drying it to 100% dry. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Hang on. That might be better. Okay, so this is the first section. Now we need our brush, and you basically just hold it. So you can sometimes just like split it in half and bring this side around to the front and then this side around to this side. So I'm right-handed. I always have my blow dryer in my right hand and my brush in my left hand. And even though I'm swapping over to the different sides, I still keep the brush in the same hand. So when you're blow drying, so this is just nice and damp under here, you pop the brush in at the root area, right? And then you get your hair dryer and then you turn it on and then you just direct it down on the brush like this towards the ground. So we're trying to create a smooth finish, so you need to direct this here towards the ground. If anyone doesn't have one of these nozzles, you need to go and get one. It literally changes your life. I can't do a blow dry without it. The reason that these are good is because it directs the airflow in a stronger, more streamlined direction. So you'll get it, it will actually dry your hair faster rather than like, you know, spraying it out everywhere, whereas we're just trying to target what's in front. So if you don't have one, go get one. Okay, so like I said, you pop the brush under like this and your hairdryer arm goes up like this. And then you just blow dry down until it's dry. So I'll show you now. So because we're still doing the nape here, we don't need to worry too much about getting too much body because you'll just waste your arm power. So that's that side, and then I'll bring this hair around to the other side and do the same. Section 1 done. Section 2, so from around your temples or the sides of your eyes through to the back, you just make a horseshoe section. Actually, do it just above your temples. Now that I'm doing it, I'm like, maybe a little bit higher. You can do this in 4 sections if your hair is really thick. Mine's not overly thick, so I can do it in 3, but if your hair's really thick, you potentially need to do it in 4. Okay, so now I've got over the ear all the way through to the back. So I'll just start with this side here. When you're putting the brush in, put it in like closer to the root, but when you're bringing it out, you can see I'm kind of bringing it out like sideways rather than down. So the reason I'm bringing it out sideways is because I'm trying to just get a little bit of body here. So because I'm directing this hair up, you're getting a little bit more body at the root area. So through the sides, by getting body, you're going to get a bit more like width through here. So you want to start getting a little bit of body through this section here, and then to the top, obviously you get more like that. So then it gives you that nice shape. A lot of people's hair will like drop quite quickly anyways, so sometimes like if you think, oh my god, that's way too much body, it'll calm down, just blow dry it down a little bit. But I don't think that'll happen to too many people unless you've got really thick curly hair as it is. So okay, I can actually feel this brush on my scalp, so you need to feel it on your scalp. The one thing I will say about a round brush, because I know a lot of people are a bit scared about using round brushes, is don't put it in and then like twist it up like this. because then that's when you're going to get it stuck. So you literally put it in and then you just go down like that. And now just remember, the roots is just as important to blow dry as the ends. And like I said, you need to make sure that every single bit is 100% dry. And if you've got extremely frizzy ends, what you can do when you get to the ends is you can actually spin the brush with your hand like this. So you can see how I'm spinning the brush, and then you keep the hair dryer like this, and then that continues to smooth out those really like frizzy ends if that's the case with you. So this is just building the foundations for, you know, any other style. So if you don't build the foundations on a house, it's gonna fall down. So that's why all of these steps that I've shown you today are actually really important to be able to get that salon blow dry look yourself at home. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this section now. Your arms still stay the same. Brush in the left hand, dryer in the right hand, but I am right-handed. And then when you flick over this side, you just do that, and then this side, and then through the back, you basically just bring it slightly towards the front if you can, but try and keep it to the back as much as possible. I will just quickly stop there because I've just realized I'm doing something. So when you're blow drying and you're trying to dry it 100% dry, instead of going roots to ends every time, you can just go roots to mid-lengths, roots to mid-lengths, roots to mid-lengths. So that just makes that section of the hair dry, and then you continue on to the next. So it just sort of breaks it down and makes it a little bit easier. So do that again. Also make sure that you're not picking up the old hair underneath and you're keeping your sections nice and clean. So roots to mid-lengths, and then you stop and you can grab the right hand, pop that under, roots to mid-lengths, stop, roots to mid-lengths, stop, use your right hand, clip that hair with your 2 fingers, and pop this in at the root area again. Then when you're pretty happy with how dry it feels, then you can move to the bottom half. And then when you're drying that bottom section and you want that nice and smooth, you can just blow dry that down like this and then release. Like so. So then the section behind that is to the middle of the head in the back. Like that. And you basically just repeat the same thing. Roots to mid-lengths, clamp it with your right hand, pop the brush at the root, go again, and then you work on the bottom half. Now we're on to the other side. I'll just do that final little blow down the middle of the back just to make sure that you haven't missed any sections. Let it cool down, and if it feels wet, you need to keep blow drying it. Otherwise, if it feels dry, great, move on. So depending how thick your hair is, like, you can do this next section in 2 sections. If you want extra body, you can do it in 2 sections. Otherwise, if it's just like pretty normal, just do it in 1. I might do one side in 2 sections and the other side in 1 section and show you the difference. So because we're wanting a little bit more body on this top section, right, you've got to get your brush in at the root and lift it up as you blow dry. So pop it in, make sure it's sitting on the head horizontally like this. So your elbow does go quite far back when you're doing this. So pop it in, turn on the hairdryer and go up like that. And do that same halfway motion that you did through the back. So you can see I kind of almost brought it forward a little bit as well. So this back section is the hardest section for sure. So you can just use your fingers, section out like a little rectangular section, right? And then pop your brush underneath. So like that. Pop your brush underneath, like that. And then you blow dry back. Then for the end part of that, I'll just bring it around to the side. So that's that. Actually, I'm just going to do this in 1 section. Then you can just go over it all together and just make sure it's all smooth and dry. Okay, so that is it, guys. It's nice and soft, silky, it's got a little bit of body, and it's nice and smooth. So I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of serum. I'm just going to use the Lux oil because that's my favorite for finishing. One little tiny pump. When your hair's dry, you need to use less oil. So you can kind of get away with putting a little bit more in when it's wet, but when it's dry, less is more. And then you just use the palms of your fingers to sort of just gently run it through the ends. Now, this is basically acting as like an anti-humidity protection as well. So because your hair is now blow dried to 100% dry, this is now like sealing that down, and it's going to put a layer over it and just prevent any moisture or humidity from getting back into your hair and making it curly and frizzy again. So the reason it stays nice and smooth when it's blow dried is because we then reshape the hair bonds to a new shape with the heat. So the way to break that is by wetting it. So that's why when it gets hot or sweaty or humidity or moisture in the air, the bonds actually break, and then that's when it goes back to its natural state. So that just adds an extra layer of protection. So that is it, guys. That is how you do a blow dry at home. It's actually really hot in here now. I need to go turn the aircon on. I might also show you guys next how to do some curls. And I might do it with the wand and show you how I do that, because I do get asked a lot how I curl my hair at home normally. So yeah, I'll do that one next for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this and you got a lot out of it. Sorry it's taken so long, but there's a lot of information to actually know about what actually goes into a blow dry and the products and why you need to use those products. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you guys want to see any more videos on how to do anything at home, also let me know. So yeah, cool. All right. Thank you for watching.